Welcome to the Tequila Time Podcast. I'm so excited to introduce to you my guest today, member of the Ape Yacht Club, Gotrilla.
Yo,
Hi, Gotrilla. How's it going? Hey.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show. Kind of surprised that you asked me. And I know we've been friends, internet friends, and members of the Ape Yacht Club almost since the beginning, and met up at an Ape Fest. So it's really cool to get a little interview and more of an introduction on ourselves.
Yes, amazing. I'm so excited to have you on the show. And of course, I would love to have you on. And I'm so glad you've given me your time today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm literally excited to hear your story. Because even though we met at Ape Fest, even though we've been anon friends for over a year, I don't really know much about you. And I think this is a perfect time just to get to know you better. So maybe just, I don't know, if we start walking through maybe a story, how you entered the Ape Yacht Club, how that looked, that would be awesome.
All right, sure. Well, I go by Gotrilla on Twitter. You might see me being your DJ, emitting all this crazy stuff, wherever the case may be. But I got into NFTs around 2020, around I think Octoberish was when I first seen NBA Top Shot. I just thought the idea was cool. I was like, "Ooh, I can trade these digital highlight reels." And I'm from trading cards, Pokemon, Magic, and just basketball cards in general. So when I was like, "Okay, this is the new thing," I'm always trying to keep my ears to what's new or what's more innovative for the future. So, anyways, I seen the NFT hashtag was on the post for NBA Top Shot, so I just kind of went down that rabbit hole. And then I just, you just learn more, you learn. And then it just kind of just grabbed me because I always been a fan of art because I can't draw. So I was like, well, I love it because I can't do it. And I just love anime growing up and all that cool stuff. Just being a fan of art in general. So I was like, yeah, I can have art on my phone. I can verify it's mine because blockchain and it's all it's mine. It's the type of thing I could I don't know if something will blow up, but I thought it was cool. So the idea, I liked it. And it was crypto native. And I never been a big crypto person, but I knew about crypto. I dabbled a little bit in Ethereum, in 2017. I think I bought the all-time high, and I got wrecked, and I kind of left it alone from there. But so I just still kept it in mind though that I loved crypto. I just knew the long term is going to be pretty cool. Those things tied together just drew me in more. So in general, when I first started, I was just buying art I liked off of Rarible, just cool stuff that I thought personally was cool, but it wouldn't resell. I've seen these big sales happen. Maybe mine could resell for this and all that. And mind you, at the time I wasn't working. I'm still not, but well, that's the tying together. But I had injured myself. I had tore my Achilles. So at this time, I'm just I'm on internet all day. I'm bored. So of course it kind of drew me in. So in that time, I had full 24 hours just to be on DJ mode, learning about NFTs. And I got into some a Discord. It was more of a not a crypto Discord, but a stock Discord, and learning about new coins, new crypto coins. And then we opened up a NFT channel, and then we just put our stuff in there that we found was interesting. And then a friend of mine, D Train, he's an ape as well. He's like, "Hey man, mint these apes." I was like, "Okay," I didn't know nothing about it. It was my first PFP NFT. So I was like, okay, I'll mint it. I guess it's cool. Then what happened? I think reveal night happened, and I was like, oh snap, these people really want to buy these things. They're flipping them. So the first night, hey, oh, I'm flipping this for 0.3 and 0.2. I'm doing it right. Finally, I'm making flips. I'm making my money back because initially I was just buying stuff. I lost all my Ethereum. So I'm like, oh yeah, I did it right. Then I'm back in the Discord. Yeah, D Train, thanks, bro. I made the money, man. What's next? I don't know. Then time goes by, floor goes. I might even pay attention to the floor because I'm going back to art stuff because my mind's always just on traditional art style, cool stuff, 101 things that I like.
Yeah.
And then I hopped into the Ape Discord. I was like, oh snap, wait, there's something more going on here. People really bonded together. Then it was just this big monsoon or tornado, just big storm just happened. It was crazy. And people are okay, we got IP rights coming out. And oh, that's cool too. I didn't think nothing of it at the time. Still okay, I can use my IP rights. I didn't think how big that can get long term. And as we still see, a lot of people aren't using a lot of the IP rights. It's a long term building process. But I think I minted 5. So 3 the first night and kept 2 for the long term. Floors kept going up and down. Crazy stuff was happening. I still and I still wasn't paying hardcore attention to the floor. I think I just bounced back one day. And I see, oh, the floor is 0.5. I mean, it was 5 ETH. Oh snap! I gotta sell one more. This is crazy. And Ethereum was like 3K at the time. So I made like 16K in USD value. And I was like, okay, that's great for me. I wasn't working. I mean, I was getting money for disability, but I was like, okay, this is a great pick me up. It's a great thing to have here. And then I think the floor dropped again to like 2 Ethereum. Like, okay, ooh, I did it right. I sold the rip, now it's dipping, and it's over with. So okay, I didn't pay attention again. So I just kept on moving, buying other stuff, wasting Ethereum honestly. And then I guess like me not paying attention, it just took off even more to like maybe 8 ETH and 10 ETH. And then at the time I could have bought again, but in my mind I'm still thinking like I'm not gonna buy a picture for 8 Ethereum. That's crazy. So, but then as the story goes on, we see it just been a snowball effect, just going on and on. And I have one ape left now, which is my forever ape, as I should say. But that's kind of like my story into Boarding Yacht Club, and then from there, I just became more like a full-time DJ and learning more about communities, learning about trends and stuff like that. Just being involved in Web3 in general. Saying good morning, my GMs every day. You gotta do that. And I think me being prior, like I wasn't a big trader in the stock community, but I mean I dabbled here and there. So I knew about momentum and learning trades and stuff like that and what to look for, buy your dips and sell your rips. So I think that kind of gave me a little leverage on learning how the NFT market worked too, because I see stuff that what I think would be personally cool as artwork, and other people gravitated to it as well. So I just felt like NFTs called me in a way. They like that. We all say NFTs found me, and I think we just meshed together, me as a person and NFTs, and I love it. It helped me to give a little more background about myself. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. So like I ramble when I start talking. But my prior
It's
background
good. It's good.
was logistics. So I would work with the government overseas in Iraq, Afghanistan, stuff like that for years. I was doing that for about 7 to 8 years, which was good money and good stuff like that. But I had a son, I guess 4 years in that time. And I like, okay, after my son was born, okay, I found NFTs. I had a little extra money. I was saving money. Okay, I'm going to quit my job. Boom, I could be home with my newborn. And it only makes sense to be there while I can, to be there during those early times. So luckily, I mean, well, I quit for the time being. If I have to go back at some point, I will. But luckily, things are working out in my favor. I'm doing good. I'm not worrying about anything. Got my son here with me, being a stay-at-home dad, and that's life for me right now. And being a full-time DJ and advising, and still just growing the Web3 space. That's me and a ball and a ramble ball.
Well, that sounds amazing. I love your story. I think it's incredible that you injured yourself and then suddenly you're bored and suddenly you enter the Bored Apes.
and that's crazy how it happened. And honestly, when I hurt myself, I tore my Achilles. I was playing basketball at that. It was like a freak accident. I should have knew, but my ankle was hurting at the time, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just a sprained ankle. And then like 2 games in, I just plopped on the ground like, bro, what's wrong? I can't walk. But anyways, like I said, at that time, my son was just born, like maybe 4 months. I was like, okay, you know what? This is a blessing in disguise, honestly. I get my disability from my company. Then I get to be home. So I think everything just happened for a reason. It brought me here. I don't know what the universe told me to do, but I'm sticking with it for right now.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I feel the same. I feel like the universe definitely pushed me towards this direction because my life took a few crazy turns too. Ended up being bored on a beach, retired by choice. And that was just because of like COVID and the lockdowns and that crazy stuff. I was like running away from it, like flying away from it. So I was jumping around countries that were open and anywhere that just felt free. So I ended up in the Caribbean, and then I was bored enough with enough sort of time on my hands to then take notice of, NFTs when they started to get that noise behind them. My friend said, look at these ape photos, I think you might like them. I was like, yeah, I want to be a bored ape. That sounds really cool. And like it really blends with my island lifestyle right now because I'm bored, and yeah, it's awesome. So I just joined that way. It was crazy. And since then we've all been on this wild ride that none of us could have ever imagined possible. It's just unbelievable. And for me, the biggest thing are the people I've met thanks to being in the Bored Ape Yacht Club, thanks to NFT communities, thanks to being visible in this space. I've met such great people, and I'm sure you have too. It's invaluable.
Oh yeah, I've met, I think almost, I want to say 99%, or even a little, 99 to 98% of the people I've met in the Bored Ape Yacht Club, or even in the NFT space in general, man, they've been great people. A lot of people come from humble beginnings, which I love to see. I mean, a lot of it's changing now with the VC money coming in and all that. But the strong foundation of when first I got into NFTs, like those people I met at the first NFT NYC, and then going to the Ape Fest of first Ape Fest to the second Ape Fest, going to NFT LA, Art Basel, which is not really NFT related, but it's kind of tied in together. But everyone that I've met been cool people, like even some I can call like family almost. Like I speak to a lot of my ape friends, anon friends more than I do a lot of my in real life friends now. I guess
Yeah.
it's just how it took over by storm. Like we have a lot more in common now. And that's one thing I kind of regret, but it was hard for me to sell off to my friends too in the beginning. I wish I could have told my friends, hey man, mint these apes, bro. Like I couldn't, I didn't know how to explain
Yeah.
it to them. I didn't understand it or even have enough faith in general in the beginning to get them on board. But I wish they would have. So my in real life friends could have been here with me, but they're watching now. So this like, it's kind of crazy to see, but yeah, man, everyone has a great story, and I love everyone for the most part in the NFT space. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think the people who got in early enough to afford to get in early enough where you didn't have to be like a celebrity or successful in any way, shape or form. You just had to have like a couple of $100 set aside, and trade it to crypto. And then, I guess mint a Bored Ape. Like it was such an easy way in as long as you had either a little bit of faith or
And
you didn't
luck
mind
too.
gambling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You didn't mind gambling a little,
Yeah. Yeah. And say yeah, it was gambling and a lot of luck. Honestly, I mean, because we like I said, no one knew. I mean, some people might have had an idea. At least for me, man, it was pure luck. Timing and luck.
Yeah.
But luck, you put yourself in a position of luck. If I didn't keep on trying on new things out, this wouldn't have happened. So I think luck, you create your own luck at sometimes with a little bit of faith too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a firm believer that we make our own choices and we pave the way for our own fortunes. And yes, the larger you grow, the more you aim to succeed, the more growth you go through, the more pains you feel. I guess the more stresses you interact with, and that's all a part of growth. But if you're okay to go through the pain of growth, then normally on the other side, there's better things to come. So I think everything that we're going through, especially this bear market right now, as long as everyone can keep staying positive, good morning every day, and just keep going, I think there's definitely some great new beginnings on the other side again for us. And who knows what's going to hold? It's crazy what's going
Very,
to happen.
very true. I mean, like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm still optimistic of the future, of course, for the Web3 space and how it will keep on growing. But like you're saying, too, I mean, it just in general, in life, in general, for me, is how I see it. I'm very humble. So I know you need to enjoy the bad days so you can even eat, so you can really enjoy even the better days coming forward. Because if you don't understand the pain, how can you understand like the pleasure when it happens? Like if you don't understand what
Yeah.
building in the bear market or even accumulating in bear markets, and I'm not saying, and I hope you only gamble or put into the market what you can afford to lose because we still don't know what can happen from here. No one knows the future,
Yeah.
but these are the times where you build, and then you reap the rewards later on. You sow your seed now, and then you get your plants later, get your fruit later.
For sure. And there's so much opportunity in the space at the moment. There's definitely lots of very great people behind certain projects, as long as you can do your research and find them, who actually want to grow things, long, long term, who want to make more of a business out of their Web3 aspects. And I noticed you've dipped your toes into ape beverages.
Oh yeah, yeah. Me personally, I think I haven't done a thread yet, but I'm gonna do a thread. Some people ask me, I don't want to say names, but really working on building like my IP brand of my ape. I don't have a rare ape, To me, he's a clean ape. I really love my ape. He's a merch. That's dope, of course, but I'm trying to work my hardest to make my ape one of the most recognizable apes out there. I do a lot of different memes with my apes. I make sure he's seen in different ways. Just building the
Mm,
different scenes of my ape, it's just stuff like that. And so when I seen the ape water, the ape beverages, when I seen what they were building, it only made sense to me after I got on a call with them too. Of course, I'm ape, so I'm very optimistic on that. And the pitch that they gave me, it sounded cool. And I'm all about cool and culture because when you bring cool and culture together, you're going to grab the masses that way. So it just spoke to me in that way. So I did invest within, and I hope to see some cool stuff in the future. I think in the Art Basel, I'll be down there. We're going to have a little launch out there with some ape stuff. I mean, ape beverages, which is going to be cool.
Nice. I'm hoping to go as well to Art Basel, so I should see you there.
Oh yeah,
that's exciting. Let's fucking go.
Did you go? You didn't go last year, did you?
No.
Yeah, Art Basel is really nice. It's not like a NFT NYC because there it's fast. It's New York. In Miami, man, it's nice and chill, better weather. Just better scenery to me, and you just get a better environment to chat with people, not in a loud environment. You get to go over like details on a project you're trying to pitch out to somebody or something. I just think it's a lot. This is a better environment for me. I just like it more. I like Miami too.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Definitely. I'm traveling on the other side at the moment, so I'm planning on attending NFT London to see who turns up, to meet some new faces. So I'm looking forward to that. But it's definitely going to be a bit cold for me. So I'm I'm not looking forward to the weather. Oh God. Miami heat would suit me fine. Mm-hmm.
London always has that gloomy feel to it.
But yeah. Like the clouds are just that little bit closer to you.
Mm-hmm. There's some good people in London though. I know some good Sappy Seal people out there. The creator of Gevos is out there. Man, there's some other I can't think of. I hate to be put on the spot, but yeah, there's some other great names I can think of that's out in London. Elliot, he's a Sappy Seal. Yeah, I love my Sappy Seal fam too.
Yeah, I see them everywhere. Yeah, it's good to have charge.
Where do you see yourself going with your IP rights for your ape? I know you talk about tequila all the time. Are you going to do some tequila stuff? I mean, it only makes sense to me.
Yeah, like it definitely makes sense. It's my favorite drink. And I definitely will one day do something along the lines of the alcoholic beverage. Beforehand, though, I've been working on like Tequila Verse, a project that I've like put all of my heart and soul into since last summer. And I'm really excited about it. I haven't yet made public what it is exactly, but news will definitely release soon. But I'm trying to definitely utilize the IP of my Bored Ape. Like from the moment I minted my ape, I basically decided that it was going to become a brand of some sort. I didn't know exactly how it would look, but I did know that I wanted to give it personality. I wanted to bring my ape to life. So then when Mopeat made these filters, it was the first step. It was the first step to be able to bring my ape to life in real life, but still pseudonymously. So it was perfect. And there's definitely some really exciting things going on in the background. Again, along the lines of the people I've met in the space, the people I've been able to connect with. Never in my life or my wildest dreams would I think I could have connected with those kinds of people, just because they would never have been, I guess, reachable. Like you live in different countries, different sides of the world, for example. They're like maybe behind the scenes, there's no contact information. And then suddenly someone in the NFT world say, oh yeah, I know someone who can help. And then they sort of end up putting you in touch with another person. And suddenly you're connected with people who are behind the scenes and the exact right people that you need, to make like dreams come true. So yeah, I'm building my Ape IP in a way that's basically like a dream to me. It's something that I've wanted since I was super young, like forever. And I'm making it happen thanks to Bored Ape Yacht Club, thanks to them giving us the opportunity to utilize the IP. Otherwise, it would never happen. So yeah, I'm super excited for what's cooking.
Love to hear it. I mean, keep on pushing it. Like we say, the possibilities are endless. And like you were saying, that ties into how we're talking about how the NFT space in general, like, man, people are always so giving and open to connect with other people. Just nice. Like you said, you go behind the scenes, like, hey, you tap in with one person, they'll lead you to the other person if they don't know exactly who, but they're willing to help you always in whatever fashion or form you might need. And that's what I love the NFT space so much. Like there's so many good people.
Yeah, for real. Like it's invaluable and it's unbelievable. Never, in my life would I think that any like connections like that would happen when you're just like this normal human being, or this, Bored Ape. It's just crazy.
It's still funny to me. Like if I go to a Discord, I'm like, oh, you're a Bored Ape holder. Like, Yeah, I mean, I downplay like, bro, don't. I got lucky. Don't. I'm still normal like everybody else. I'm struggling still in life. I
Yeah.
got my own personal problems in real life still too. Just lucky on this ape stuff, but I'm
Yeah.
here with you guys from the ground up. But yeah, I love the networking capabilities of being an ape. So I'm not gonna downplay that because being an ape has opened a
Yeah.
lot of doors for me, which I don't think would have opened up if I didn't have one. Since they are like one of the four, I guess one of the faces of the NFT space currently, probably will be going forward. And I'm sure they're going to be great products coming afterward and still building with apes. And there's some right now.
Yeah.
But I know I'm biased because I'm an ape, so I'll just have to say, yeah, I love that what the apes help you achieve so far. And also, people, it's something that people don't think about. I thought about this by myself one time. Like, people don't realize the power of the person behind the ape holder. It just say you're not an outgoing person. You're not really, you don't have a good idea of what you want to do. You're not really, you're doing yourself a disservice. You really have to be out there and be a strong person behind your ape. Even say you have a really rare one, but if you're not out there pushing your ape strongly or creating that brand, you're doing a disservice to your own ape and to the community. I would say not in a bad way, but you have to be out there. Don't be shy. Go out there, try new things, talk to new people, fail.
Yeah.
Always, I failed in a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
life, but those failures always help me learn something new on what to look for or what to do better on my next journey.
For sure. Failure is a part of success. It's never a straight line. And everyone feels self-conscious. Like we live in a world that, thanks to social media and perfect photos and Photoshop and everything else that we have to live through, thanks to everything that the media portray, people feel like they have to live this perfect life, that they have to have every upgrade, that they have to be perfect in every single way. And then when life's not, they can't show that online. So people sort of feel, I guess, a mass amount of judgment. And
Hmm.
I understand, all of it. I get why people feel self-conscious, and I understand why they might feel, I guess, nervous to speak, like even their own truth, because, there'll be people straight away who disagree with you. But at the bottom line of it, we've all got this conscious life, this one time that we know of on this planet to make an impact, to make a difference, to become something, to make something of our lives. And if we don't put ourselves out there, especially with the amazing technology we now have that we never had in, growing up when we were younger, to have that now and to not make the most of it is a disservice to, I guess, you as a human on this planet. So yeah, I totally agree with you. You have to make something of your IP or yourself in whatever way that might look, but definitely jump out of the box that, you kind of feel stuck in maybe.
Especially, like I said, especially Web3 right now. Like, if there's people, of course, people are going to judge you for whatever you do, but man, forget those people. At the end of the day, they're going to judge you for doing it
Mm-hmm.
right or doing it wrong. It just is what it is. But like you're saying, yeah, about being judged online,
Mm.
being judged on what your appearance may be with social media, and honestly, growing up now, like I feel for women more, because they always perceived as being so pretty according to what the media shows you, and then you have these filters, then
Mm-hmm.
you have all this other stuff. And I can see how it's stressful, or even like it can be cause a little depression if you don't feel like you look a certain way, and it's really sad when the world's coming this way. And that's the beauty also of these avatars in a way. Not even an ape, cat, whatever you want to be. You can be,
Anything.
yeah. I'd say I'm a 45 Hispanic man right now, but hey, online I'm a cute little cat. You don't know what I am, and that's something I always
Yeah.
love about it too. Even when you meet people, you're Ape Fest or NFT NYC, you see the person behind the picture, like, oh, they look nothing, or even who I imagine what you look like, or even better. It's just so funny sometimes. Like, you're a big guy, small guy, like, oh wow.
It's wild. Oh, when I was an ape person, honestly, I had such a good time for one. And secondly, yeah, no one really looked how I imagined they'd look. And not in a bad way or anything, just completely different, It was, yeah, wild. But I loved it. I loved every
Yeah,
moment.
I'm looking at these filters now. I
Yeah.
mean, I would look at them, and and his team did a really good job. Look at the spinning eyes. Cool.
Yeah. And like, I can wink. My ears and my hair shakes, the little tips of the top.
I think later on they're
I
gonna
don't
make these
know.
little
Yeah.
even more. 3D realistic looking too, maybe like a full body
Yeah,
version.
like
Crazy.
we could poke our tongues out maybe and then be pierced.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything. Anything could go. Who knows what we're going to look like? But, the one day, and not too far in the future, when I guess augmented reality becomes more and more adopted, I can imagine people walking around in daily life as their avatars, and however they want to look that morning, however they want to be perceived by others, that's what they'll be. They could be a cartoon animal, they could be a princess or a king, or they could be like this, I don't know, robot. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to be a
there's no
robot.
ceiling. Oh yeah, that would be quite cool. Yeah, yeah. Like the bionic arms and everything. Like,
Crazy. I think we're gonna use like
wild.
glasses or contacts or something like that at that point. I wonder how far along.
Yeah,
Maybe like 10 to 15 years probably for that. I don't know. 'Cause I think what Google Lens made like some type of somewhat of the AR capable glasses years ago. It didn't do well. I think they were trying to redo the prototype. So I know this is something that's been in the works for a long time. It's just about execution and probably timing on when the market really needs something like that. So it's always
yeah,
just being patient, and I'm learning to be patient.
definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a skill. Patience is one thing that I think a lot more people need to adopt and just, I guess, master, because people are so impatient in the NFT space, and 24 hours can feel like a week sometimes.
Oh yeah,
It's so
it's so
fast.
funny. Yeah, it's crazy how like if you drop a project and then it feel like people expect that it's a golden ticket as soon as you mean like what's next? Like no, you bought it, now you gotta relax, build the foundation of your project, enjoy your community and kind of like hope for the best a little bit because you never know these traders, man. There's so many flippers in the space. I mean, I flip too, but I mean
Yeah.
I'm not a major flipper, but I like to hold and flip and build these communities. But it's just all about if a project failed that you're in and you're helping build the community, you're building a name for yourself too because people know that you're strong. You're there for the next project, and just make sure that you're also taking your profits too, though, on the way up. You never know because don't let FOMO get you. FOMO still gets me. It gets everybody. Like, oh no, it's gonna leave
Yeah.
without me. But just sometimes wait a couple of days. It'll be right back to where you thought it'll be. And
Mm-hmm.
then buy the dip. Especially buy it when it's quiet. If it's a project you love, buy it when it's quiet, when no one's talking about it. That's the time you got to buy these things. Because when everyone's talking, that's when it's time to sell.
I think we all just need to take a note here to myself and the audience. We should all just follow Gotrilla's wallet.
No, you don't want that. You don't want that.
I'm joking.
I,
I'm joking. No, I do need to learn to start flipping things though and making a profit because I've got such heavy bags because I've hodled basically nearly everything. The only thing I ever flipped, which was for a good profit, was the hate beast because I had three whitelists, I think, and that was nice. I think I made roughly 60K in USD
ooh,
in
very
like an
nice.
hour. It was lovely. But that's the only time I've ever
Congrats.
flipped anything.
I
Thanks.
think when
But yeah.
Bored Ape took off last year, it kind of gave me anxiety on selling other assets. Like, okay, if I sell these too early, they're gonna take off
Yeah.
too. And then I created a big old bag of this stuff that went to zero myself. But like you're saying, there are people who watch my wallets. It's kind of crazy because you have to be careful with that too. Because sometimes I legit buy stuff that I like, and then I know it's going to zero, but I just like it. So be careful with stuff like that because or I might be buying for a short term flip or a long term flip. You don't know what that
Yeah.
person is buying for. When I was in NFT LA as a buddy of mine, it was so funny. We were at some bar or whatever, and or like an event. He's like, "Hey, you just bought something, didn't you?" I was like, "How'd you know?" Like, "Yeah, I got your wallet tracked. I'll see when you buy stuff." Like, bro, why are you tracking my wallet? You can just ask me. He said it's easier this way.
It's quicker.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. That is wild. I can imagine it though. And yeah, another thing with that as well, watching your wallet is I guess people can also airdrop you stuff. So it's not even you collecting it specifically. That's quite
True, true.
dangerous.
Man, there's people. I think Cranksy or some other people. Man, they got airdrop some stuff and they took off. Every time I get airdrop something, it's some crap. Like it's never nothing good. Like I want that airdrop is something that's gonna take off. Like man.
Wild. Yeah, I remember not long after Bored Apes, the Arabian camels obviously minted, and I ended up with like, which I still have now, a herd of like 109 camels.
Oh wow, you're a camel
And I'm
whale.
praying for their revival. Yeah, I'm praying for their revival because if I'd got 109 Bored Apes,
Oh man, yeah.
that would have probably been a better, in hindsight, a wonderful thing.
That's crazy. If you think about it, for the most part, if in 2021, if you only bought apes, that's the best thing to do. Buy and sell
Wow.
apes. I think Franklin did it the best, honestly, because he flipped his
Yeah.
way up and down, just flipping apes. That was the move for
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, he called it right, definitely.
Hmm.
He's definitely played the right cards throughout. Like there's been a few people just you don't really hear and see everyone either because not everyone's on Twitter. Not all of the people who trade and are into this stuff are visible. We just see like the biggest whales who are visible, I guess.
Correct. Especially with different wallets too. But there's some
Yeah.
big whales out there, and it's surprising. Like these guys seem like they have endless ETH. Like, bro, where you get this ETH from? It's
Yeah, it's
like
like
just
where's this
pulling out of
ETH
the air.
tree?
Share some.
Yeah, yeah. Show me where like the end of the rainbow is. Wild. So what do you see? Like, I know it's difficult to determine markets and obviously real life markets obviously have an effect on crypto markets and everything. Is there any projects that you see long term that you truly believe in, apart from Ape beverages, because obviously you've gone over that one. Is there anything else that you kind of see that you think, yeah, I'm so glad I've, minted and held something because you believe in the team and the founders?
Yeah, there's a couple projects out there I still believe long term. I'll even say one that I fudded and I don't even like it anymore, but I still think Pixel Vault has a good long term outlook. I mean, I don't know when, but they have high endeavors and they have a good team. It's just that the NFT space isn't ready for that long wait of a time. But I think long term they're gonna pull a surprise. I don't even hold it any, but I think long term they're gonna do good. I believe the Gutter Cat gang, as long as they're still building, they have a strong community. They have a
Hmm.
tokenomics with their token drop coming out. I believe they'll be a nice contender still, even though they act like a stable coin. They don't have much movement, but they're a safe stronghold. Like they don't, when there's a bear market or a bad time in the market, they don't fall much. And that's a good thing about the
Yeah.
Gutter gang too. I'm in so much stuff, so I'm trying to just think off the top of my head. I'm so sorry. Um,
Oh no, don't apologize. It's all
And there's
good.
Rare Shoe. Well, I'm part of Rare Shoe, so I have to give him a shout out too. It's more of a collector's project, so that's a different type of avenue. It's not like a PFP, but I believe what he's doing with shoes is going to be a good thing for long term as well, because I think the hype beast of like shoe flippers are going to come into the space because fashion is coming into the space in general too. It's a
Hmm.
slow way into it. But I think those building for the fashion avenue will have a good upper hand coming up too. There's a new project out called Street Machines that I love. I mean, I love anime and mecha stuff, so they're tied together. I don't know how they would do long term for sure. That's something new that I just like. I try to put it out there. Azuki, even though I'm not a fan of Zaga, I'll say that out there right now because he wrote some other projects. But they have a strong community once again, and they'll die for whatever.
Yeah.
They'll die on that hill, and they're building good stuff. They're building great IP, and in general, I love their art. I'm holding zero of those. I don't hold none of those, but I think they'll be a great long term. And there's I think Cool Cats, like these products that's still holding up from last year. I think they're still going to have a good chance on breaking through because they're tied to these brands that's not going to give up. Like Cool Cats, they fell pretty hard from all time high, but still a devoted community. So overall, I'm going to say I'm still bullish on communities, the ones that stayed there. And I'm not talking about communities that with a floor price of 0.0002. Unfortunately, that's not the same thing. I'm talking about more
Yeah.
established with a brand next to them. So those ones I'm still bullish on long term. There's some still short term ones that I'm confident in. I don't want to talk about those yet because people might jump in and have some
Yeah.
false hope on that. But there's always good stuff out there. Just talk to people. Talk to me. Hey, my DMs are always open. I reply to almost every DM. Even to the scammers, I reply to them. I make fun of them. I just talk to them like out of fun when I'm bored. So I always try to give my insight.
Ah.
Not saying I'm right or wrong, but it just my ideas on certain things.
Yeah, it's like, it's not financial advice, but do your own research.
Definitely. Yeah.
Be a
It's
friendly
always
person to DMs are open.
one thing I learned from trading stocks in general. I learned from someone who said a good trader will always know he doesn't know what's going to happen. And that's something I always think about when
Mm.
I say things. I don't know what product. When someone DMs me like, "Do you think this product is good, or should I buy in?" I always DM them like, "I don't know." I tell them I'm buying in. I think it's cool, and I tell them like, I don't know where it's going to go. I just buy it because I like it. I hope it's going to go up. I hope the team is going to build. But we never know what's going to happen. A lot of time I just say a lot of stuff
Yeah.
just go to zero. You want to have that mindset in general that your investment's going to zero. Because if you have that mindset, you don't worry about when it's going down. Because for one, you invested with money that you can afford to lose, hopefully, and then just sit there
Yeah.
unless you found some evidence that you didn't like in the project. Then you can exit for sure. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing about NFTs. There's no day trading or where you get day trade only 4 times before you get caught. So you can do whatever you want to do. But I just think being bullish on communities is still one of the greatest foundations, especially with good art too. Good art, competent founders, and a good community. That's very important. And that's what I look for mostly in my long-term projects. And I like projects, and this is another, I'm a ramble again. So there's different things I go for. I go for long-term flips, I go for short-term flips, and I go for medium-term flips. And that's the thing about wallet tracking. I have these different assets that I know I'm gonna flip it for short term. I'm gonna flip this one for long term, or it's a medium. And it's like stocks too. You have your penny stocks, you have your blue chip stocks. And that's how you have to treat these NFTs in a way. If you want to be a flipper, in my opinion. That's my quick little ramble again.
I like your rambles. They're informative.
Thanks.
Because it's always good to add more context, around a sentence, because a lot of people are going to be brand new to everything. There's a lot of people who will be watching this one day who would never have even set up a digital wallet. They never would have traded any kind of crypto. They won't really understand what blockchain is, or, the difference between a real life contract that you sign with your pen and paper to a smart contract. Most people are not going to understand even the basics. So I guess going through, your rambles, I think it's definitely beneficial. So you carry on rambling.
Okay, well, that's good to know then, because honestly, I'm here in Kansas City. That's where I currently live, and there's a smoothie shop out here that's using my Ape for one of their drinks. So I'm using my IP in the smoothie shop out here, and he's asking
Amazing.
me, thank you, and he's asking me how to integrate people, to get people, well, to onboard people into Web3. And he's always talking about
Mm,
apes and these other cool things. And I tell him from the beginning all the time, we can't, I'm going to help him on board through his shop and all that stuff. But I tell him from the beginning, we can't onboard people with NFTs and from the start. We have to start from the ground up, learning about security, learning about protocol, learning about
mm,
wallets. Because if you're not going to teach these people about security and all the bad, because there's a lot of bad stuff, a lot of bad actors too in the
yeah.
NFT space. If you don't teach them this stuff first, you're going to doom them for the long term. Because even now, I don't see how it happens, but these people, apes,
Mm,
Azukis, whatever, you're clicking links still. Like,
mm,
don't ever click a link. I won't even click
mm.
your link, Tequila. Like, I'm gonna go to a different computer and something, click on the link just to make sure. It's like, I don't know, maybe someone hacked you. Like, you have to be
Yeah.
120% on lockdown with these things, especially if you hold heavy blue chip assets. And that's something that
Yeah.
needs to be worked on too. Is more knowledge on the security aspect. I know we have Quit. We have some other NFT people out there who preach it a lot, but it's boring. And I
Mm.
understand it's boring, so people don't want to listen, but it needs to be done.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love these
Like
filters
maybe
again. I'm speaking.
animations. I love them, I know. Like maybe we could teach the class, we could get like a whiteboard in the back of our video and we can go through things like step by step, like with our 8 filters and make it all sort of more character built. So I don't know, maybe that's an idea to liven it up. So today we're going to go over
The
security of your
ABCs of
wallets.
security. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. So we start with a ledger and then we can take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that can be
Yeah.
for the next episode with Gotrilla. We go over wallet security and how to set everything up and what to do and what not to do. I guess the gray areas.
I think that's really good. Honestly, that's a great idea for one of your podcast segments. I mean, your interview segments. I don't know who the actual ape is, but it's a real good security ape out there, and I'm pretty sure he can give you a good breakdown how to get the wallet security. And I think that's the thing you should look into. Yeah, very good idea.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah. I think that's a really good idea. And it all come look from the rambling. Yeah, so there's a smoothie place using your ape already. That's awesome. Are you on like
Mhm.
on like one of the cartons or something on the cups?
Well, no, it's on the menu right now, but we will be doing a physical cup here. But there, since supply shortage with everything in the real world
Mm.
messed up, like it's been taking like 6 to 8 months just to get cups like from the warehouse. So that's something that's
Wow.
coming, but we're not doing the actual official launch until like late. I mean, I'm sorry, not late, early next year. It's a soft launch right
Yeah.
now, but early next year we're gonna do some more stuff. And I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on for my IP, for my ape. I don't talk about it yet because it's not done. It's some long term stuff with some music directors, video directors, all kind of cool stuff. It's just a long term process to get the work out. But I'm excited, man. I really am.
Yeah.
And just happy to be here, man. Just happy. Can't
Yeah,
complain.
I feel the same. Like the fact that, again, I think, I don't know how many podcasts I've said this on, but the fact we're here with our ape filters, talking to each other
Yeah.
via the internet, like at different parts of the world.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild. I love
Even
it.
on my bad days in the market, I mean like those terrible days, even when I be losing like mad
Yeah.
Ethereum trying to degen, like man, this sucks. This really sucks. But those are just motions in the market because like 2 days later, you're back up to like, okay, the bull market's back or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. It's such a emotional roller
Beanie's back.
coaster sometimes. Yeah. It just gotta stay positive. And also I don't preach about it a lot, but you have to stay healthy outside of Web3. Keep a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Go to the gym, eat healthy, drink a lot of water. Because if you're not going to keep your body right
Yeah.
and your mind right, you're going to be down this little doom hole of Web3. Because Web3 is not always fun. A lot of stuff sucks a lot of times when
Nope.
the market's dry. Then you're like, okay, your endorphins aren't hitting. You're not getting that rush of a high mint. Nothing's doing a 10x anymore so fast.
Mm.
So just make sure you're keeping your mind right too, your body outside of this place. Actually, I'm about
Yeah.
to go to
Like
the
we could
gym here
even
in a
go
minute
into
myself.
nice. Get the eight muscles. I need to get some eight
Yeah.
muscles. Mine are more like
Ooh,
yoga in inner muscles, like the little thin ones, but I'm quite strong on the
yoga
outside.
is. I did hot yoga for the first time. I think 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Man, I was sweating.
Wow,
Oh man,
amazing.
never again. I like yoga though. Yoga's fun. It's very,
Oh,
especially
so
after I
good.
got
Like you
injured.
lengthen your limbs.
hmm I think
Yeah.
I think after I got my
Yeah.
injury, I dove more into the yoga because it strengthened my core, strengthened my muscles that I haven't used before.
Yeah. Like your own body strength is amazing, like to be able to like stand on your hands and things. Built through yoga is incredible.
Nice yoga apes.
Maybe, yeah, ape yoga on the podcast. So it's like stretch up apes, everyone, with an aligned spine. Come on, Gotrilla, do it
Oh
with
yeah.
me.
Uh,
And up and breathe.
ah.
Ah.
We need to get
Gotta keep
Swole.
it healthy.
That's right up Swole's alleyway. Swole Luxo. He loves yoga.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I
That
think Spall's gonna come on the podcast soon. Yeah, he's on the list.
good. You could have him go
Love to
over
do
like
him.
yoga and spiritual health. And that's something he specializes in a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
too.
yeah. We can delve deep on that stuff. To be honest, I think it's quite good for people to go inside with health because everything happens on the inside. We are, for example, what we eat, what we think, what we do to our bodies is whatever we consume,
Oh yeah,
and
for
then it
sure. I
shows on the
mean,
outside. Yeah.
it's like a car or a machine at the end of the day. You won't put no bad oil or bad gas in your car. You're gonna mess it up long term.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk
For
about.
sure.
I have family who had bad health habits of eating, and I just seen that growing up. Like, hey, I'm not going that direction. I don't want to be old, especially with my kid. Like, I don't want to be 60 years old and not be able to run with my kid. Like, I gotta be young still. I gotta stay in shape. He keeps me
Yeah.
in shape too.
That's good. Be like super ape. But yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no, like health is wealth, and because I don't want to get older and then I guess live a long time, but live unhealthy where I've got, illness or disease or, I can't really move around properly. I want to like be a really fit older person one day
same
when that time
way,
comes. Yeah.
same
Want to be
way.
like, yeah, maybe six-pack grandma type of thing. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be cool.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, no, for sure. Like, if you could, if you could be anything as your ape, this is maybe quite a question you might have to think about a little bit. But if you could create anything with the IP of your bored ape, and in the next 5 years you could kind of see the future, where would you want to be as your bored ape? If there
Um,
was no barrier, like no barrier.
I would like my ape to be a comedian in like in the series, that's type of a movie or show. And I say that because I think in general, and that's a quick answer though, but that's my first thought. Is like I like to be him in movies. I say that because I believe at some point apes will be like internet celebrities in an NFT space in a certain way, especially if you created a great IP. If you're thinking long term,
Yeah.
especially if we're somewhat the face of NFTs. Entertainment business, entertainment, music, and fashion are like one of the biggest consumer brands, like where people consume their money into. So I will like,
Yeah.
and that's where all the eyes go to. So I like to have all eyes, selfishly, of course, I want all eyes on my ape. So I would rather be like in movies or in fashion for sure. Something in that
I like
aspect,
it.
which I'm working on towards now. So maybe it's gonna happen.
Yeah, under the spotlight.
Yeah,
I think
and
you could definitely make it happen.
there's even projects that even help build like movies. I'm not gonna say movies, but integrate your ape or whatever IP you hold into these new shows, like non-fungible films.
Yeah.
That's like a project that he's building like with the movies and something like that. And then Jenkins, his is more about books, but that can turn into a real life story of a movie at some point. The apes, or maybe their characters.
Yeah, of course.
Well, what about you?
I feel the exact same, like where you're going down, and because of my project. So actually, maybe there's a little bit of alpha coming out right now, with not really intended. It's not on purpose. I'm not trying to shill anything. But like my dream for my ape, and my real life self, and obviously going through the journey of building my IP, what I want my ape to become is happening. Like it is happening, and it could be a superstar. Who knows?
You're already a star.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, definitely with the good mornings. I think I kill the good mornings with my yelling tequila on the beach. I quite enjoy it.
You got to do your GMs every day. Every day.
Definitely. I love it. I love it. I think it's an amazing trend that everyone in the NFT community has come together and did, because I don't think they'll ever go away. Like good mornings are here to stay.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember when I first went to the first NFT meetup, I didn't know what to say when someone I said good morning. Someone said GM. I was like, oh, did I do it wrong? Am I supposed to say GM or am I supposed to say good morning? I had to figure it out there. So from there on out, like, okay, I'm just going straight GM.
GM. I love it. I love it.
That's your favorite right there. Is let's fucking go tequila.
I love it. I love it so much. Honestly, it is me. Like it's me to a T. Like
that's
with
your staple. That's your phrase.
It is definitely like my thing. And I believe in it so much because I'm like, why not? Like, let's fucking go. Like, let's make everything like the best ever. Let's have the best day. Let's have the best life, and it can only happen when we put the right energy into it. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go now, yesterday, a week ago.
Now.
Yeah. Like, there's only sometimes that patience is not required. And that's definitely when that statement is being yelled.
Oh, that's true.
So basically, from your injury and your Bored Ape journey, then you trickled into obviously NFTs from a crypto background in a way. You had some experience in it and then obviously delved into NFTs. And you've basically been a Bored Ape since, just living, trading NFTs and crypto. I think that's a beautiful thing. Like, wow. Yeah. Especially with a young child. I think that's pretty awesome.
Pretty much.
Like how...
So to be honest, he's my alpha. If he likes something, I gotta buy it. So if you think I'm getting alpha, the alpha is
that's amazing. I love it. Though, I love it. It's like a mini Gotrilla.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a Bored Ape picture up. Well, I had it up. It's with my older apes, so I don't have it up anymore. But the picture, and my son's like, "Oh, you're ape, daddy, you're ape." Or if I'm just scrolling through like on Twitter or NFT, like an OpenSea, and he'll see like the apes. He's like, "Oh, ape, daddy, ape, ape, ape." Like, you really love these apes more than I do, kind of, bro. Relax. He's always pointing out these apes.
That's amazing. And what did you say? Like, 4 years old.
Yeah, he's 4 now.
It's amazing.
And he's just going to grow into the NFT space. It's crazy to see that. Like, I don't know if y'all carry this ape down to him at some point. I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe he'll get a mutant. But I think I was in Disney World earlier this year, and this is going back about how kids are like the future in the NFT space. But I was in Disney World, and I was walking down like I think my hallway, and a kid was like, "Oh, Dad, he has a Bored Ape shirt on." And I looked back, and the kid had to be no more than like 10 years old. And I'm like, "Wow, he knows what that is? Like that's crazy." And then the dad is like, "What's that, son?" Like I didn't say nothing back to him. I just heard it in the background. And it just makes me think like these kids are the future. They have their ears to what's going on, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
It's amazing. It is amazing. And if you think about it, like children are growing up with technology, like undoubtedly. You can't
Oh
really live
yeah,
without it now. Everything's app based. You need technology for everything from banking to gaming to just any in real life stuff. Like you go to a coffee shop now and they're like, do you have our app? I'm like, oh, you've got an app. Like it's wild.
yeah.
So like, yeah, like kids now growing up, they've all got smartphones. They're all connected to the internet. They're all connected to each other, like in a different way to before.
My son took my tablet over. Matter of fact, I had a new iPad last year, and he's like, "Oh, it's mine now." Basically, like he's always on it. I mean, he's smart with it, of course. Like, bro, you remember this? You remember his passcode stuff? I mean, he's learning good stuff on it. I'm not gonna be mad at it, but try to limit his time. But it's crazy seeing how fast
Yeah,
kids can adapt to technology. Especially when you just put
it's
it in front of their face,
insane.
they just play with stuff. Cool. And I
They find
personally
their way
always been.
around.
I've always been tech friendly myself. I just love technology. Just maybe I'm a nerd. I mean, like not a smart nerd, I like nerdy stuff, like
Yeah.
robots and AI.
It's interesting. Like, the things that are developing right now and everything that's transpiring through technology is incredible. Like some of the greatest minds, are so far ahead of the way we think when it comes to data and technology and everything that's interconnected. And the way we'll be living one day is just in a world that we couldn't even fathom. We wouldn't even be able to open our minds up wide enough to see the future, because I think it's going to be so advanced, like flying cars. I don't think you won't even blink your eye at them. It'll be like, going around in your own airplane one day. I think,
Oh,
yeah, it's going to be wild.
it's crazy. I remember with Back to the Future movie, they predicted we'll have flying cars like in 2020, something like that. I don't know, 2016. I don't know, but the number was off. We don't have flying cars yet, man. I'm
Yeah.
ready. I want to fly.
They've got lots of flying things though. And
I I did see a flying taxi you
just
can order though.
maybe. Wow.
Yeah, it's not like a taxi, but it's like a Uber for like an airplane, a small one. So I
Wow.
mean,
That's
it's
crazy.
small scales.
Yeah. And I'm sure if they wanted to make cars fly, they could, but they don't really want the general public, flying around just yet.
Oh yeah, these bad drivers already on the ground. Don't want them in the sky.
Yeah, like the poor birds.
That'd be bad.
That would be bad for the birds, yeah.
So you said you're currently in the Caribbean
Wild.
islands?
Actually, I'm on the other side right now. I'm like traveling through Europe and stuff. I'll be in the UK for NFT London. But in general, yeah, hideout in the Caribbean. I've been searching for like the perfect real life island, again, to try and tie in with my project, but also real life kind of dreams. So yeah, I've been trying to find the most perfect island on like lots of different aspects. I've got like a list of things that I want to tick off. I did find an amazing one with a runway and its own like dock or a potential board yacht and different things. It had its own hotel. You could have a running business on it if you wanted to. But it just location dependent, and it depends. I guess long term it working,
Mm-hmm.
or it being somewhere where I maybe want to live like when I retire. But who knows?
Aren't you
Who
retired
knows?
already? I thought you're retired now.
Yeah, I'm retired now, but I do things by choice. So I feel like I'm 24/7 in this space. And my project
Oh,
takes a lot of my time, like every day. Even this podcast is like around the clock work because my team are not doing it for me. I'm doing
yeah.
everything, including like the production, the editing, everything. So even though technically I'm not working, I am working 24/7 by choice. So when it comes to
That's
like all these like side projects, take a lot of my time.
That is very true. No one's ever really retired per se, and the same way.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I'm gonna say I'm not working because I am always working 24/7. Like you say on Twitter or like even doing just being on Twitter is work because you're building your brand depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Building up body by P, like it takes time and work. Everything I'm doing in
Hmm.
the background, like I'm 24/7 really, just it's not in the traditional work sense. It's like new, it's Web3, it's NFTs, it's crypto, it's exciting, it's blockchain. It's like working in a different way. So technically retired from real life stuff,
Yeah,
but also
not your own boss.
24/7 nonstop immersed. Yeah, well, I was anyway. A little bit of
Oh,
background about me. I built like a business from scratch, from the ground up, and it was something I was super passionate in. I absolutely loved what I did. I helped people. I gave so much value in what I did, and I changed people's lives without going too deep. And I built that business over a decade. And then when I was ready to sort of move forward from it, it's still sort of alive. It's just, it doesn't need me anymore in that same way. But I was an entrepreneur really forever, and I managed to retire young. And that was by choice because of the lockdowns and everything that happened. And then I fell into NFTs and the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Yeah, it's been a wild journey, a wonderful and wild journey with lots of twists and turns and difficult moments and then amazing moments. Like entrepreneurship is definitely not a straight line either. So even when you feel like, you have success, you also fail a lot throughout it. But I thank, every moment now that I worked super hard back then. I didn't have a social life. I worked 120 hours a week and more. I didn't switch off. I worked super, super hard. I made that business work. And then it worked for me. And in turn, I managed to have freedom and, just sort of live a retired lifestyle whilst, I guess, merging into Web3 now. So perfect. But I haven't had a boss in like a very, very, very long time. I couldn't have a boss.
Good. And I think being an entrepreneur, your work is never done because you're always thinking of a new idea anyways. Entrepreneurs always think of something new. So you're always going to have a new test. Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm always been entrepreneur minded. I try to make a clothing business. I try to help friends with some music. And I always try to help, think of new endeavors on how to build something out. They haven't worked for me in the past, but they all, like I said, all my failures led me to where I'm at now. Like I've learned a lot on what to do and what not to do in certain situations and how to move as a business, has to be business minded and how to talk to certain people or even handle, like I said, interviews, anything.
Yeah.
But like I said, being an entrepreneur, you're never going to retire because you think of something new again when you're 60. Like, oh snap, I just thought about this.
Yeah, I love building and growing things. I love the outcome, and I do always set myself goals and they're always short-term goals. So I keep hitting them and then keep being motivated and disciplined to reach the next one and the next one. And I would be bored without things to do. So I love the creative side of being an entrepreneur where you can keep building and growing in different ways, and everything in life, I guess, takes different turns. And then you always need to sort of cultivate new ideas and routes to go down, because sometimes when you want to reach a certain goal, there's obviously things in your way. And some people see that as failure and they stop. And then they don't reach their goal. But I like to, I guess, work my way through, even if I have to reroute. I don't just, let go of my dreams and goals. I just reroute, recalibrate, and move forward in a different way. But I've always loved everything about being an entrepreneur, even the failures, even the difficult times, because it makes you such a stronger human being. It makes you so much stronger and so much sort of more aware, of what you wouldn't do.
I love my failures.
Yeah.
But I love it. Helped me okay, I know what to do. It just prepares you for the future, your failures. And that's something with being older too.
Yeah.
Some things you can't learn from being young. You just learn it over time, just with life teaching you. Life is a good teacher as well. If I'm
for sure.
I'm getting older. I'm upper 30s now. So I'm like, I like to look back and think about my life in general. Man, I did this and that. It's so cool to be able to even do that. Because, some people don't even make it to where my age is now. So you just can't take life for granted. Enjoy your life. Just have fun and be good to people and get into Web3.
Yes, get into Web3 and have a lot of fun. It's the best way. Yeah. And be an avatar, don't even be yourself anymore. Be your real self, because you can dress up as a cartoon.
Oh yeah. I've been a human avatar for the last 30 years. I'm okay. It's overrated.
Yeah. It's so overrated. Yeah. I have much better experiences now being like an ape or whatever.
Nice.
Options are endless. There's a lot of cartoon pictures in my wallet.
Oh, you gotta see my wallet, or even my hidden folder too. I think my hidden folder is probably big as a collection almost.
Wild.
I don't know if I wear that with pride or do I wear that with shame. We'll see.
To be continued, I guess. Oh, well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Gotrilla. It's been so amazing to have you on. I've absolutely loved hearing your story. I'm sure the audience will as well. We've definitely gathered some golden nuggets from you, and we've enjoyed your rambling. Definitely. I've I've loved it. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Honestly, I've really enjoyed our conversation. It's been amazing. And I hope you'll come back on again one day.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you again for having me on the show. One of the first earlier ones on the show too, like top 10 almost, right? Like OG status.
Yeah, you're top 10.
Let's go.
OG. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Hey,
love
like
it.
again,
Love it.
I do appreciate you having me on here. It's good to have people vocally. It maybe though you don't see my face, it's good to see people behind it. You know, someone in a human form talk about the space, and you're gonna add value by getting these different people on the show who can drop some real gems for people. So I love to see what you're doing here. Good job, Tequila.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I want to make friends, and I want everyone to realize that there's certain people in the communities that are definitely worth following and knowing, you know, because there's value everywhere here. Just, I guess it's hard to find us because if they're not in Web3, they can't find crypto people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll get them.
So put it out on YouTube instead. We're getting them for sure, for sure. Honestly, it's been amazing. It's been amazing getting to know you better. Thank you.
Maybe we'll spend more time at Ape Fest next time. The last time it was like wicked short. It was like maybe like 10 minutes, if that.
It was so fast. Like I was so glad we even got a photo. Like I was yes, we got pictures. But it was so short. Yeah, the time went so fast. And like you said before, it wasn't really an intimate networking experience because it was so loud and it's difficult to talk above the loud music. But Art Basel next, Miami.
Yeah. We're going to see you there. Tequila on the beach.
Definitely, yes. You will find me on the beach with a tequila for sure. No doubt.
Love it.
Amazing.
Let's go.
We're gonna make it.
We're gonna make it.
We're gonna make it.
Go.
Let's fucking go. Tequila.
Hey, tequila, let's go.
Let's fucking go, fam. We're gonna make it.
Hey, all the way.
Yes, all the way. Yes, let's fucking go. So I'll see you back on Twitter.
All right, you sure will. All right, Tequila, have a good one.
Amazing. Take care. Enjoy the gym. Get those muscles in.
All right. Ooh, I like that bicep. Look at you.
Getting those 8 muscles.
Peace.
See you.